Hello, folks. Top Gun here, and I got a good one for you. A nice, scary story around the campfire. And what is this story about? PULSECHAIN prices. No. Yeah, alright. It's been a rough one, but I got a good one for you, folks. It's been ages, and I gotta make another video because all I do is shitpost on Twitter. Yeah. I'm still in this ecosystem, even with these prices. Oh yeah, this is so horrible. Let's get out to that weekly and really enjoy the horror. Yeah, let's do that. 1 week. Oh. So brutal. So brutal. So brutal. So many hopes being so crushed. But that is what the crypto market is doing. All we gotta do is go over and look at a lot of other things, not Apple, but, XRP. At least someone else is still getting crapped on like we are. Yeah, we're not alone. But anyways, point of it is, yeah, we've been running for over a year. Everyone's kind of scared and running for the doors. I personally keep accumulating more. So I'm still happy with the ecosystem. Yeah. I sacked for some projects, and there's still a lot of them are very floundering. I sacked for some projects, and some of them are still kicking butt. Like, if you are not using the Internet Money wallet yet, this nice, clean, crisp wallet that even has NFT support, it does everything. It is a full functioning, secure wallet. You don't have to buy time. You don't have to own a part of this wallet. Just go ahead and use it. I'll collect your swap fees as a part owner of this wallet because I own these time dividend tokens. By the way, this price rate here, there we go, 8.6, 8.7, that's about the sack price, which means this is the one token in the entire ecosystem that has not gone below day one sack price. Maybe it's because they launched with a small market cap of 2 million, and so look at them sitting at 2.1. Isn't that nice? Maybe it's, because they limited the amount of funds that they took in, limited the amount of shares, so as they're growing, and now they're closing on 50,000 downloads for their software. The dividends just keep coming, and it pays, for this sack price. I mean, if you assume that PULSECHAIN was still its sack price, so buying $1,000 of this token, how long would it take to get 10 million Pulse tokens? Well, $1,000 of this token, it could do it maybe 3 years. So if Pulse ever got back to its sack price, that would be, 30% APR per year on your returns, theoretically, because it's really been pumping. You can go to their website and check this out, because it's using the buy and burn mechanics too, guys. This is awesome. The wallet is smooth. You should be using it. The token was done great. They did everything right, and so they have managed to stay afloat while the rest of the ecosystem gets knocked around like a piñata at a child's birthday. So yes, we're going to talk some things here. I've got my fuzzy blanket. I don't have fuzzy slippers. Sorry, Sami. I only keep Crocs because I'm Canadian and our weather's kind of crappy outside. I never know what I'm going to have to go out and grab my newspaper in or take my garbage out in, so I don't have the fluffy slippers. I also don't have a fluffy microphone. I have a loud, booming voice and a very professional microphone that registers it quite well. So with this nice, scary lighting to go with the mood of our scary prices, we're going to talk about my apology, because when we looked at PULSECHAIN way back when I had Haunted on my channel to look at the Haunted buy and burn buy strategy from the Liquid Loans app, I looked at the potential liquidity that the chain could launch with, and I realized it was a giant anchor. It had a huge market cap. It was going to be hard to move. So I never said that PULSECHAIN would do huge things. I'm like, maybe it could do 10x, 100x. I just wasn't hugely sold, because the whole idea of the chain is to keep gas transactions cheap, unlike what Vitalik did. Well, recently they've been a little cheaper, but the chain's a little bit of a ghost town right now. Drop your girlfriend, Vitalik. I'm on Sami's page with that. Sami says a lot of good things, so I'm just going to quote him outright and be like, yes, I am ripping you off. Thank you for the content. But with that said, a lot's going on right now. Corey out there talking about people, need to be doing apologies, and I've thought about making some apologies because I haven't made a lot of videos. Why? Because the prices really sucked and I've been kind of embarrassed. Now, luckily, the strategy I use getting in, okay, while everyone else is down 90%, apparently I'm down 30%. Sorry, guys, but I diversified into a bunch of things. Some of them really bit me in the butt, but some of them, like internet money, really paid off. So for that, all right, I'm not doing as bad as everybody else. That keeps me motivated, keeps me in the game, waiting for things to change. The market's not in great shape, and I never promised huge things with Pulse. I never really promised huge things with Hex. I just called out every bottom on the way. But I did promise huge things with Pulse X. So it's been a while since we looked at the buy and burn math, and I haven't bothered to update it, but it would be much easier to go and just show you what I owe you an apology about and what I was wrong about. So let's zoom in here. Now, one of the first things, we'll just draw this out instead of math, all right? It'll be fun that way. So I expected adoption in the first year to make this shape, which is, we call an S-curve, okay? And so the more adoption we get, the more money flowing through the network, a greater increase. I had to slap this in as a variable because I don't know how quickly people would adopt the network. Now, when you look at what we're actually doing, so let's erase this. Undo. There we go. So what are, it's ended up looking a lot more like the logo, like our adoption's going like this with huge spikes. Now, overall, funny enough, running my model, I ran it at 100% of what Uniswap does, 10% of what Uniswap does, 1% of what Uniswap does. Now, each and every one of those math models does indicate that, PulseX is going to actually do well eventually. In some of my models, it showed it would take over 10 years or 15 years, and I'm very confident PulseX will still 10,000x one day. But those models where I got extremely excited, like, what if we did 100% of Uniswap? Well, we never got there. At least I never claimed I knew what we'd do of Uniswap, but it's been closer to the 1% levels of what Uniswap was doing. Now, getting away from arts and crafts time to explain what was wrong with my initial assumption there. Also, the liquidity pool I, thought would be smaller than it was in actuality. Bunch of little things that slow it down, but the mechanic is still working. And this is where, on our scary show, what you should really be paying attention to is we go over to the PulseX chart. Okay, and we'll do this days, and this chart looks very scary too, doesn't it? But there's something you kind of notice, but maybe not so well, and that's we didn't hit the all-time lows. So what is PulseX doing in Pulse? Oh, holy crap, is that an uptrend? Yeah, that's an uptrend. Could that be a buy and burn chewing through 5% of the circulating supply? Yes. Has it basically given us just a little over a 2x against the base layer 1 token in a year? Yeah, that's it. But 2x a year against the Pulse chain token. So even if Pulse just hit sacrifice and stayed there, well, we know how doubling compounds works, right? 2, 4, 8, 16. So that doubling, let's see, yeah, so 1 year it doubles. 2 years we're at 4. 3 years we're at 8. Okay, 4 years we're at 16. 5 years we're at 32. A 32x. Well, you don't get that in Wall Street in 5 years. That's if it keeps this rate against the chain and Pulse chain doesn't continue to tank any worse. But the PulseX buy and burn is working as designed. It is pumping liquidity in for the investors to take out, just not as fast as we all would have hoped. But the mechanic still continues. It's like the Terminator bot. It will never stop. It's a program. It is a computer, and it destroys the shares it accumulates. So one of the largest holders outside of Godwhale or Sack Daddy is a computer program that is deleting its own shares. I'm still bullish on that. That still runs. Right now, most of crypto is flogging along. So, I can go and run a bunch more math models for you guys, but still, the rate at which we're doing adoption is what matters. And we come here to Aphex Win. We can look at a bunch of different charts, But the ones that really matter here is daily active wallets. And right now, we are at almost an all-time low, 8K active for the day. So 10K when we're really sucking in these levels. But you can see we've had spikes in any particular day of almost 50K, 45K. What do we hit here? So these spikes have made for a lot of burning when they happen. And this has not been the healthy adoption that we've wanted, but it also is not a dead chain. 10,000 active wallets a day. There's lots of other chains that are ahead of PulseChain right now for volume or other stats that aren't doing the same kind of daily transactions. We have had over 1 million wallets sign on and become active on this. So this is a really good website to kind of look at the base and health of the chain, and you can see the bridge liquidity still is maintaining some minimums, at least just for DAI right here. But the bridge liquidity, it's not draining, it's not empty, we're not going away. And as long as we stay here and we stay persistent, it's going to turn around. Whether it comes down to some meme coin mania on our chain like Solana, or some new bit of tech that actually gets invented because we've got low gas fees, we still have a community, we still have builders, we still have a cult, the Trailer Park PulseChain community, annoying everyone in crypto forever and always. They'll mock us with our shit charts, but we won't go away. No, we won't. We love this chain. And yeah, Richard has made some mistakes. He's not been the all-knowing God, but nobody is. His first principles, I still stand by, but some of the stuff that he's said and argued has definitely been proven wrong over the years. When he gets out streaming again, it'll be interesting to see how his viewpoints changed. It'll be interesting to see what he's got to sell at that point. What narratives, what stories, what changes. Sci-fi. Sell it, promote it. He didn't charge a single cent for it. He gave a self-help book away for free. The guy has done a lot of things. He buys his own tokens. The guy does a lot of positive things that a lot of other founders don't do. Yeah, he looks sleazy like a used car salesman sometimes. But that's the way we love him. We don't really want him to change. So when he gets back out there and starts mental wrestling everyone again, that'll be great. But that may still be a while, because he's still got to settle the sex stuff. But again, a founder that's going to abandon the chain doesn't buy 3 different law firms with the 11 most expensive lawyers that work for Elon Musk and use them. No, if he doesn't care, he runs away with the money. So basically, this chain isn't dead. We don't know what's coming next. Everybody is at max bearish pessimism, scared. This is just a nasty chart, but blood in the streets. I have accumulated more Pulse and more PulseX than I ever thought of it possible because of these low prices that keep coming in. And thank you, all you nervous, scared people, for selling to me on pennies on the dollar. That's all I can say. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Katie sure as hell isn't going anywhere. She's still bullish! I haven't seen a good Pulse TV rant on Katie recently. But yeah, guys, our community's still thriving. I'm not going to run through PulseX models because the issues with I can't project what future liquidity is going to be. People can pull it, they can change it, and they've shown that they'll do it during the market changes, which change the dynamics of how it runs. And I can't actually predict the adoption rate, how it's going to spike, when it's going to happen. It's not a steady flow like I thought it would be. But still, the chain running at just 10,000 daily users is chunked away 5% of that buy burn, almost 4.7 in what is now 15 months. Yeah, in 15 months. That's alarmingly significant amount of the supply. And it's not going to stop. So I'm sorry that I plugged in so many bullish variables, but sorry not sorry. The whole time I constantly told you guys, anybody that says they know what the market's going to do is lying. And still contingent on a bunch of variables, PulseChain not running into the ground or somehow recovering from here, which I still believe it can because I'm still buying more and other people still are. That, yeah, there is basically a 10,000x in PulseX's future because of that buy and burn. But, even in my worst models, it was 15 years. And right now, I'm heavy in the depression looking at this chart going, is it going to be 25 years till we get that 10x? Will I still be alive? But the mechanics work. The theory works. we just got to see more activity on the chain, which I think will really happen when we're not in a giant recession, when global liquidity is not being strangled, when it really starts to dump out there and it trickles out of the buckets into ours, into crypto. See things change. I don't know. Sami has a lot of good when you're trying to look at like what's the future potential. He has a lot of good charts and squiggly lines he draws. He's great to look at that. I look at the practical natures. So right now, this market cap, 316 million, does not include OA, and it's only about half the supply. It's the wrapped pulse. So anything unwrapped that's not in liquidity or not wrapped for staking, that's just the other half of the supply outside of the OA is about another 300 million. So right now, 600 million market cap outside of the OA for PulseChain. It's still kind of large. It seems kind of large. But we look here at the volume just in this one pool, just in this one pair. $1.3 million volume in the last 24 hours. Okay, 2/3 and 2/3 dumping in and dumping out of 1 million. And that's a really low volume bar rate there. But we've got all these other volume bars where, like, holy crap, the volume on this day, $125 million going through that pair. This one, 83 million, but that's the buying and selling. It doesn't really strip out how much is for which, but that's a lot of money to go those days. That's a lot more than 1 million. So what I'm trying to get at here is the regular buying never drops under 500,000 of buy pressure a day. That's a significant amount of money, guys. That's the minimum amount of money that buys PulseChain every day. It doesn't care about the sellers. That's always there. And sometimes it's more money, like $1 million plus a day. Well, we've been running for 15 months, which is 450 days. So if we were seeing on average at least $1 million of buy pressure a day, that's almost circulated the entire market cap from weak hands to potentially strong hands, or weak hands to other weak hands that sold. Like, can't keep track of all the users. I don't have that much programming or database, and our blockchain explorer sucks. Yeah, PulseChain. But you can make some basic assumptions where I realize, like, we always talk about distribution patterns at the top and at the bottom. You know, that exchange of people selling to new noobs or to diamond hand experienced people, you know, buying tops and selling bottoms. Or a couple of us doing the other way around. I do love my bottoms, like right now. Just, oh, that's such a sexy bottom. Oh, such a sexy, juicy bottom. Oh, what does Sami say? Friendly show. Ah, Sami, man. You do make me laugh quite a bit. And, like, Sami, you can blame Sami for my lack of content, because I get an idea, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to make a show. I'm going to do it about this. And then I'm like, oh, new show from Sami. Let me check that out. Okay, I'm not making an episode tonight. I don't have an original thought. Forget that. Goodbye. Right, I do math, but other than that, he's got a good sense for the psychology of the market. I really like his thinking. I follow it quite a bit. Some people don't like the different viewpoints or the honesty he'll hit with, but he's just sharing his opinion. You may not like it, it may not even be right, but a lot of the time, I find it to be a good, accurate way to think of things, at least for me. But he doesn't think about the math quite the same way I do, and that turnover, that distribution, essentially what I'm saying, guys, is there are plenty of us that have held this whole way, some of us that have accumulated more, but, like, eventually you hit seller exhaustion. Like, if we have actually turned over the market cap of PulseChain, 600 million, it should be like 2 billion if it's at its sacrifice price, and we haven't had that much go through it. But is that my squirrel? We'll cut this out later. Just remember, cut, and then action! Alright, we're back. So, before I was distracted by my squirrel, yes, the turnover rate. So, let's go ahead and we can do this instead of even... Oh, I'm looking at weeks, not days. That's why there's some of those larger ones. But let's look at months, okay? Let's look at the total volume. And since the price has moved basically sideways, we can just assume that half of that volume was for buying and half of it was for selling. Really loose lollygag numbers. First month, holy crap, 400 million? Okay, 300 million, we're at 700. 900. Ooh, we're good. 1.1 billion. Oh, that was a crappy month. 1.2 billion. Okay, 1.3, 1.4, almost 1.5. I'm rounding heavily. Ooh, that one was heavy. So 1.5 goes to 7.25 or 7.5. So 17. Yeah, 1.75 billion. That should make it 1.9 billion. Wow. So the market cap, relatively outside the OA, being around 2 billion-ish, well, 1.6 billion technically at SAC price for PulseChain, being 1.6 trillion tokens out there. So, I mean, that means weak hands have sold to other people that turned out not to be not to be strong hands, because they were weak hands too. Because we're cracking like the entire. I lost track over 2 billion, but like that's half of that's buy, half of that's sell. Like, you tell me the entire market cap of this has been circulated and exchanged over the last 15 months, essentially. How many more weak hands can be left? That's a real good question, I think. Because, I mean, I've also looked at the inflation rate. Like, okay, there's approximately, oh God, what was it? The inflation rate is, there's 1.6 trillion, there's 160 billion, about 10% of the supply locked up in validating. That's right, about 16 billion pulse, about 1% of the entire network supply gets created and inflated every year. But that's 1%. So if 2 billion, we're talking about an extra 20 million of tokens that have been created over the last year to pay the validators. So in and amongst all that buying, we've had over $2 billion of flow just through the Pulse DAI pair on chain. So we've seen almost the entire market cap roll in and roll out, and lots of us haven't even moved. That says a lot to me, guys. That says a lot to me. I don't know. Reasons to be bullish. Reasons to be bearish. The whole stock market's rigged. Nvidia is screwed. It should never have gotten that high, ever. But, reverse repos every night in Canada and the United States replenishes bank liquidity because they keep going dry, so they can make their margin calls, and so they can continue to fund hedged funds and do this crap when we should have seen a correction already. But, fun fact, 90% of the elections where a president is going for their second term, if the economy is going down into that election, they lose. So they don't want to let the economy down because they don't want Kamala to lose. Oh, Kamala. No, I can't even do that laugh. It is so scary. But anyway, yeah, the market is, as far as I'm concerned, being heavily manipulated. I watched the GameStop stuff go again, and they're just pumping liquidity into the system without calling it bailouts, and technically it's loans with the reverse repo. So theoretically, they've got to pay it back at some point, and that's going to be a scary madoodle. But tracking gold, oof, it's saying there's a recession. We're getting to the point where you're almost going to want to start going back into the defensives if you're worried about playing the stock, rotating out of the Magnificent Six, like the big Apple stocks, and going into beauty care products and Home Depot and Smuckers and some of the other defensive recessionary items. Like Home Depot's got to come down a little bit more, but we're in a big scary area of, wow, this is a mania, this is a bubble, it should have popped back here. Yeah, did I just point back before 2023? Like, we were going down, and this has all been mania that doesn't meet the fundamentals. It is just buy the dip mania over and over and over again, which we saw at the .com boom, bust, and we saw again in the Great Financial Crisis, 2008. So when the mania bubble ends, we'll never know. But I'm expecting it to go past the election at this point. And the last time, because I got here right when the bear market kicked off, and the NASDAQ being a tech-rich, basically this chart, let's see if I can still overlay, add an indicator, BTC. Yeah, sure. All right, oof. There, all right. So, is there a similarity to the shape of this chart? No, they don't move in the exact same correlation all the time. But when they're going down, when they're going up, when they're going down, when they're going up, when they're going down, when they're going up, when they're going down, when they're going up. So, oh crap. As much as we like to think that Bitcoin is separate, it is tracing a lot of the NASDAQ risk-on sentiment. So we do actually want to see the mania in the NASDAQ crack all new levels. We do. Break that 20,000, break 22,000. We also want to see the Russell get excited. And when we see those going, we should see Bitcoin coming up. But this whole last cycle that I got in here anyway and have been observing has done a lot of tracing. Not exactly. We had a major down while NASDAQ was going up here, but there's a lot of connections. So I am very tired of watching the stock market to see, because all the data is recessionary. It is very recessionary. And let's try and get my channel banned. We're going to head for the GD. Great. Yeah, I should do what Sami does. I should make these things. And I haven't thought of a good thing to... The grand deepening of recession. Yeah, we'll call it that. The grand deepening of recession. Yes, the GD. We didn't say those words. Yes. So, it's really kind of scary with a lot of the statistics, a lot of the information. But then you look at the global liquidity, and you look at how scary it is, and it's pretty clear. China's got to print. The U.S. has got to print. And more than the reverse repo shenanigans. They're going to have to go to stimulus. They are going to have to breathe life in. Clear! Come on, market! Stay with me! Come on, NVIDIA! We can get 10 points higher! Clear! And that is about the state of the stock market right now, which is dragging our crypto along with it. But now the interesting thing is, as I've watched Bitcoin take some more kicking and some more beating, there's not a lot left to pulse. Like, I have seen Ethereum and Bitcoin drop harder and deeper than Pulse does now, because we are so close to our bottom. So again, bullish on this because I feel like there's not a lot more pain to go, but we could go lower. I mean, we are really crossing that bottom line right now. And if we lose here, God, I don't know where it'll stop. If we really fall under, I do not know. I wish I did, guys. I still believe in it. I still believe in the principles of it. I'm still investing in it. But the fact is, the stock market is so crooked that you just have to bet on the continued crookedness. And the continued crookedness says they will push things till it breaks. Stock market prices will crash and scare most of the dumb people out. Then the smart people with the 0% interest money straight from the Fed will go buying everything up, yay BlackRock, and they will repump the asset prices. And when that happens, it will fall under the buckets of crypto. Now, whether they let it crash for a whole year or two before they go mad print, or whether they let it crash for a week and go mad print, don't know. But you can bet on the continued crookedness of Wall Street and insiders and the Fed. And with that, you can bet on continued inflated asset prices. You can bet on inflation. And with that, you can bet on crypto still. Because we're still against the bug eating. We're still against the big banks. We still like transactions free of middlemen. There's nothing wrong with that principle. So, I am still here. I'm still very involved. Watching the drama on chain, you guys are priceless. Keep it up. The more drama, the more the soap opera continues. The more, people don't tune into Days of Their Lives because they're actually looking for their life to be changed. They're turning into Days of Their Lives to see what drama happened today. So, we, as PulseChain, are rocking the soap opera corner of crypto, I really think, especially with, the continued bets with Eric Wall, Kareem, poor guy, being in jail. I tweeted out that I'm like, no more bailouts. I don't care what. I don't care for who. Because, I'm at a point where, hey, if I ended up in jail, I don't think I'd come crawling to the community asking for help. But that's a personal thing. Sucks that he has to blow up his hex stakes, but it sucks for all of us. A good thing is to, not do illegal things. I traveled on planes before, and when I got on that plane, when I realized I had to take a plane back and not a bus, Well, I stripped every bit of my luggage, every bit of my jackets. I even found a nice little spliff in the liner of my jacket at a point where that was still illegal in my country. So, I gutted everything out of my personal supply of traveling, like whatever you call that, my travel bag, my toiletries. I went through all of it and yeah, cleaned out a few spliffs, cleaned out this, cleaned out that, went, oh, well, now I'm good to travel because I took responsibility for my life. And that's a personal feeling about things. So, sorry, Kareem, I'm sure you're a great guy, but if you're silly enough to not check your luggage fully and try and board a plane with ammunition, I'm not really feeling that sympathetic. You're part of the community, so I hope you get out just fine. You're in a scary country to be trapped in jail, so I really am rooting for you and hoping for you. But stop doing stupid things, people. Stop selling your pulse at the most cheapest bottom prices you can. Stop taking ammo onto planes. Stop! I'm just, yeah. Okay, read a book. Shut up. Fight the Dunning-Kruger effect. Soak some things in. It's part of the reason I haven't made videos. I want to bring the clearest, best content I can. Sami does that. He beat me. But anyway, congratulations, Sami. I want to bring the best content. I want to be accurate. I want to be honest. I want to be intelligent. So I brought math. I brought the understanding I had a couple years ago. And then I watched things go really sideways. And I've been reevaluating. I stayed quiet and minimized my content to fight the Dunning-Kruger effect, afraid that I was getting too loud, that I wasn't really paying attention to things. So I've been reassessing and really looking at the chain, and still, basically I've bought at this price point itself, DCA'd at it 3 times. Last year at the beginning of August, last year at the end of August, and again this year. I have gotten this price point of basically 35 cents per 10,000 Pulse tokens. Like, wow! I can't believe I got this price 3 times. If it goes lower, I'll buy more. If it stays at this price for a whole another month, I'll buy more. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sad if you guys are, but sorry, not that sad. Thank you for selling to me at these prices. If you want to be dumb, I will take advantage of it. If it goes lower, I'm still holding on to it because we still have a Richard. We still have a chain full of products. We still have a successful SAC product called Time Internet Money, a cross-chain wallet. And then we've got, Pulse TV making fun of Richard and all the rest of us, which is absolutely awesome. We've got Hex and Pulse Chain conferences. Even if Maddie Allenier has been doing some things that people don't necessarily want to agree with. Maddie, if you're listening, I'm sure your blood is boiling just at me bringing this up. I've listened in the background. I get what you're trying to do. And it's not my project. I'm not the founder. I hope it works out. You will have a great comeback story just like the rest of Pulse Chain if it does. And I hope the best for you. Might not be how I would approach a project, but there are definitely worse ways to do it. So I really do wish it does work out. I didn't buy any of Maddie token. I don't think I'm planning on buying any Maddie token. Sorry, Maddie. I have the things that I want and the odd little things that come up. I gamble a little bit with a little bit of my portfolio, and thank God I did, because that diversification is why, guys. Like, I own so many worthless shit coins, but playing out there, it's like, okay, I put $10 in at a time, but when I've landed a couple hundred X's, like, oh, I wish I put more than $10 in, but it's the little things, where the little victories, where okay, that helps compensate some of the losses, and moving over to this project helps a little bit. I'm not going to tell you guys every single move I'm making. I will bring up projects that I like, but I'm not here to really tell you to buy or sell. I'm here to just show you the technology, what I find interesting, and talk a little bit about what's going on in the markets or in our chain, if I do actually get around to making a video. So thanks, guys, for tuning in for another long rant from Top Gun and our late night campfire stories about PULSECHAIN. Dun dun dun. So maybe I'll bring in some scary music instead, like, yeah, the horror stories of PULSECHAIN. No, having fun with this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that's about all of my rant points for right now. Yeah, 9mm, the V3 decks. If you guys actually want to own a share of another decks, basically we are at 1.7 million market cap. And no matter how crappy all of the sacrifice projects, which this isn't one, but no matter how crappy all the sacrifice projects have done on PULSECHAIN, 1.7, like horribly down, but still 1.7 market cap. What's loan at? 1.2. 1.4. Wow. Mint even? 1. So like we have a minimal market cap threshold for these protocols. And basically 9mm is also at that, which is a V3 clone. So they are doing airdrops over the course of like 9 more months. It's a 12-month thing, letting out almost 10% of the supply each drop. I guess 9 or 8, whatever it works out to. Don't feel like doing the math right now. The point is, they've had a few. The first 2, price still went up, and then now it's been dropping. So is the rest of crypto. But funny enough, it's still earning yield. And a lot of people aren't paying attention to the fact that they're going multi-chain. And people are like, we hate the Tang gang. We hate them. Good, hate them more. Send more hateful text messages. Blow up Twitter. We want people to see the drama. Get them to talk about the commotion happening at PULSECHAIN. Like, do you know who got first in the Olympic shooting? No, but you know who got second. Do you know who won the pole vaulting? No, but you know Mr. Ding Dong who lost it. Oh yeah. Do you know who won breakdancing? No, but Sami, are you going to be apologizing for that for the next 4 years till the next Olympics? Yes. And so those were the fun parts of the Olympics. Those are what people paid attention to. And PULSECHAIN is chock full of ding-dongs and drama and divorces and cats and squirrels and fluffy slippers. Oh my. So, the Olympics went to crap. Nobody cared. But the best parts of the Olympics, the crazy trailer park part of the Olympics, we got that. Okay? And so people are using this protocol. It does pay fees. And while they're going multi-chain, no, they haven't been chased away. But 9mm on base, you can't get 9mm on base. You can use 9mm on base, but there is no 9mm token on base. So what about all those fees that they're making? Oh, that gets rerouted to the PULSECHAIN version of this token. Oh, so like this is where I really liked Internet Money dividends, but like if you want to collect dividends on Ethereum, you have to own time on Ethereum. If you want to collect dividends on Binance, you have to own time on Binance. But this is where you own 9mm on Pulse. Well, whatever chain 9mm launches on, not all the fees are getting redirected to holders, like 50% of them or something, but okay. So they're continuing to grow, continuing to build. Interesting. And they're basically almost near the bare minimum for any project on PULSECHAIN, being at 1 million set by Mintra. Yay, Mintra, 1 million market cap. That's like one of the smallest protocols launched. So 9mm is almost there. They are going to have more releases, more airdrops, but more people are participating. You get less and less airdrops, technically, if more and more people are in the system trying to earn the tokens. So even if you don't want to own some of it, I tried to build impermanent loss calculators, liquidity providing lessons. My boomer parents provide liquidity and market make on PULSECHAIN. Do you? So it's dangerous, it's risky in some ways, but like some of your money should be allocated to it, in my opinion. I put a small portion of mine, like 1%, into market making. And so far, market making has been one of the more profitable things I've done. It does require head for numbers and a little idea of what you're doing. You can't just plug into it. But if you have some head for numbers and you like to see different types of yield, you can get 2% fee transaction yield on pools at as a liquidity provider on the Uni V3 clone 9mm. So regardless of what you think of Tang Gang or anyone associated with 9mm, because 9mm and Tang Gang are not the same thing. But 9mm being the best functional Uniswap V3 clone on chain, that sucker, it's just brilliant. I love V3 liquidity providing. It's a great way to basically range out, DCA out, and get paid to do it, and rake a lot of fees. And if you have some idea about price movement, sideways, up or down, you can help plan it. There's risk involved. But wow, I've made some really good yield providing liquidity on 9mm lately, while all of crypto's been sucking the last couple of months. No. But nobody's doing particularly well in the last couple months. All right, guys? So we have excitement on this chain. We have things building. The TangTalk walkie-talkies, oh, the tech behind that, the encryption, that is actually really cool. Like everyone's like, I'm not sure what the next new thing is. Well, token-gated encrypted chat platforms that are not hackable like WhatsApp. Like WhatsApp's owned by Facebook, and so your encrypted end-to-end messages are all in log files in Facebook where they know what encryption they use to encrypt it. So if people want to get access to your communication files, like how secure are they? There are copies that are available, but hey, crypto, blockchain technology, token gating encrypted networks with no log files. That's pretty cool. And multiple chain, cross-chain communication on those. Like that is at least playing with some new technology. Communication across blockchain. I suppose there was Steemit. I think that was the Reddit kind of clone on Ethereum far before I got to crypto. There's been some little elements of it, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're building. It's one of the newest techs that I've seen. It's not exactly like your DeFi narrative, which nobody wants to buy anymore. There's no big list of VC insiders, but they're just NFTs, which create the token gate to the access of the network, which gives you a whole bunch of interesting functions. Go to TangTalk. Oh, they're minted out. TangTalk NFTs. You know what? I need to scroll up here. Access your TangTalk NFT. Oh, look at that cool video. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, they put their time into it. That's Tang. Go, guys, go. Okay, so what do we have here? We have chat options, video call options, music streaming, internet access. In other words, this thing will act like a Tor browser for secure browsing, shopping, and then bookmarks and settings. Wow. So this is all available from an NFT. I haven't seen this before. This is something. And it's been building under your nose. This has been available for like a year waiting for it to mint out till it did it a month or two ago. So you have to go to an NFT marketplace if you want to buy one of these now, or go to one of the other chains they're launching on and use that chain to talk to every other nerd on the network. But this is something, and this is being built by Dracatus on Twitter. He's a Canadian programmer, military secure encryption programmer, who knows what he's doing. I'm excited to see every little bit of progress they're making on this. That's at least something going on that's new, where I'm like, it's not necessarily going to be the next Dogecoin, but hey, this is really cool tech. It is actually advancing things, and that's what we need to see on chain. There are people here building new and cool techs. So if you guys want to get involved, the layer 1 gas token's great. Owning parts of the exchanges is generally one of the more profitable things, whether it's the wallet swap from Internet Money, or the DEX swap from PulseChain, or the DEX swap from 9mm. And you've still got the whole fiat fuck system. I wasn't swearing. It's PHUX. But we've got multiple DEXs on chain. We've got so much going on here, guys. And yeah, it's frustrating when it just goes sideways, because for all the risk, we should be getting more than sideways action and sitting down these many years after. But everyone's in the toilet. And realistically, when you look at how badly everyone's in the toilet, we could have been a lot worse. XRP dumping tokens on their users. Tron, Justin Sun dropping tokens on their users. Richard Hart bought tokens from his users. We have a founder unlike any other one. We've got a community unlike any other one. And we actually do technically have new tech being developed, as well as some pretty competitive memes if you're into that meme coin culture, since it seems to be what made Solana pump, because nobody wants to touch cool DeFi anymore. I think Sami's very right about that. I think, though, that when enough meme coin speculation flows through, that it gets the juices in DeFi rolling, and people realize they have a bunch of profits they want to put in something safer, and they're like, oh, wait, I can put it in this protocol and earn 10%. Yeah, as long as the protocol's price doesn't drop and the volume doesn't drop. Big star asterisks. People will rotate over, and then they'll stay in there, not knowing that it's going to drop in value and yield. And they'll get locked in. And the smart people that have been waiting here for years will get to take some profits. But, man, we don't know what this cycle is going to do. I thought I was done my rant, but no, apparently I've got a lot to say here, guys. It's been a while since I made a video. Go ahead and leave comments. Request some other stuff, some other content. Maybe I'll get around to it if Sami doesn't do it first. Damn it, Sami! Stop making 20,000 videos a day. Like, you literally make videos on everything. There's nothing left for the rest of us. No, thank you, Sami, for all that you do, man. You are definitely an AI bot. I don't believe you're real, not until you get on my show and we have a real conversation. And I can see that you're an interactive AI model that's better than Max Headroom. Yes, you're going to have to prove a lot, because I think you're AI. You make too much content. Nobody can even do that much meth and blow. There's no way you have enough Adderall to make those many videos. You must be AI. But, hey, Skynet, you're not trying to kill us today. You're helping us with fancy, fuzzy slippers to do our crypto planning. So thanks for not killing us with all the nuclear missiles, AI Sami. I mean, your friend Sami. So, yeah, I think I've made fun of Sami enough today. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. Richard's still in hiding. Brendan has totally, unhinged. He's so angry. I don't blame him. But all the venting in the world, man, I don't know. Get louder. Make more memes. Really rip into Richard. If you're gonna do it, don't use half your butt. Put your whole butt into it. Yeah. Give it all the effort. So, yeah. Our chain has been sitting and flopping, and so have many others, alright? Vitalik got a girlfriend. Who would have saw that coming? Vitalik bloody well got a girlfriend. This is Vitalik's girlfriend. Why can I say that? Because look over here. Bitcoin is at least holding its mid-level around its top. Ethereum is nah, man, I'm way down from my top. Vitalik got a girlfriend. Third cycle curse. Sami's on it. See, that's where, how am I supposed to make content? He's already nailed these points. Dang it. I can't make fun of Richard because he hasn't even come into public to do anything stupid. I mean, buying the local top in Ethereum right here before Vitalik got a girlfriend really sucked. But, yeah, I can't make fun of him. He hasn't been wearing, the Gucci outfits where he looks like an idiot because he looks like a shot couch. He hasn't said anything ridiculous that I can make fun of. What am I supposed to do? Hexologist, he's been rocking it pretty good. I still enjoy his content occasionally. I don't get around to it as often as I probably should, but yeah. Our community is still full of life, and it's basically a giant smoldering pot of Pop Rocks and Mentos, and baking soda, and it's just waiting for a big old pile of vinegar and Coca-Cola on those French fries. I still believe, and it's not going to be a because that sounded like a bad. It's going to be a explosion up. Yes, I'm sticking by my sound effects. You don't like it? Oh well, go watch someone else. Don't follow me. Don't subscribe to me. I haven't made content in over a year, other than on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not here to be an influencer. But I love this community. I see some things. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I should comment on it. All right. So there you go, guys. I've wasted way too much time not making a video. I'm sorry. Here's a long video. All right. Now I'm done. Now I think I'm really done. Am I done? Yeah, I'm done. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. You know where to find me on Twitter, TopGunHex80 at Twitter. I haven't been really hanging around much anywhere, so yeah, I'm on Twitter. I occasionally make comments, but more or less I've slid into the background like Homer Simpson through the shrubs. I will engage when engaged with. If someone tags me, if someone asks my opinion, I'll jump in. But otherwise, yeah, I'm fighting the Dunner-Kruger effect, and I don't feel like I should be broadcasting my opinion at full strength because I still have not even lived through a bull run, guys. I got here at the end of 2021. So I am a bear market expert, and we've got more bear market, it looks like. But yeah, the actual bull run, Sami's more of an expert on that. I don't know. But we've got the potential. I still smell the potential. I don't know. Hopefully we do it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Until next time, stay frosty.